Alright, so Zapier has just launched its MCP server, and this integration is really amazing. What this means is that with Zapier offering this integration, we no longer have to deal with the clunky mess of setting up MCP servers over and over again. Now, if you dive deep into the problem, the main challenge is that having multiple MCP servers, especially if you're using a lot of them to automate your life, can cause several issues. First, running multiple servers simultaneously by command can lead to performance problems. Then, there are connectivity issues. If a server goes down, your API key expires, or something similar happens, everything just breaks down. Take the MCPs I have in Cursor right now as an example. When there are too many, some of them time out. I'll have to refresh them just to get them running again. 2 of them use API keys while others rely on run files. If those run files get deleted, I'd have to go through the entire service process all over again. The solution? This new Zapier integration lets you connect to any app seamlessly. Beyond that, there are plenty of benefits. For example, you get access to thousands of apps, currently around 8,000. While not all of them might be available, that's still a massive selection. Plus, it's free for individuals, which is amazing. You can use it in any type of workflow. Not into coding? No problem. Zapier offers no-code tools as well. But if you need something highly specific, that's an option too. So, let's dive in. I'll show you how to install it and set up some servers with it. Alright, now for the installation. Once you click the Get Started button, you'll be taken to the dashboard. Here, you'll see a Generate button that creates your unique MCP server endpoint. I've already generated mine. This endpoint works like a password, allowing your MCP client to connect with the Zapier MCP server. If it gets leaked, others could access it, so keep it secure, just like a password. Once you have it, simply copy it and head over to Cursor. In Cursor, open the MCP.json file. Let me show you its structure. If you already have MCP servers added, the file will look like this. But if it's empty, you can copy this configuration, paste it in, and replace the URL with the one from Zapier. If you already have existing MCP servers, just copy this section, paste it below, and update the URL. Once it's added, you'll see your Zapier MCP listed. Alright, once this is done, if you want to add MCP actions so they're available as tools in your MCP directly in Cursor, just click the Edit button and this page will open up. You'll already see some examples like drafting a new Gmail, creating an event in Google Calendar, or sending a DM in Slack. But there are plenty of other tools. For example, if you're using a Slack integration, that specific tool within it can now be accessed in MCP form through Zapier MCP, not the entire integration, just the tool you use. Now, in terms of tool availability, I've noticed there aren't many options for coding. Some major MCP servers, like the Supabase MCP server, are missing. But when it comes to productivity and social apps, most of them are here. ClickUp, HubSpot, Google Calendar, and even some apps that, as far as I know, never had MCP servers before. Since their integrations exist in Zapier, you can now add them. One coding-related integration that stands out is Postgres. What's great about it is that the Zapier MCP server actually lets you write to a table, not just read from it. The official Postgres MCP server only supports read-only queries, meaning you can't insert or update data. But with Zapier's MCP, you can add a new row, update an existing row, and even query rows. The setup process is straightforward. After adding the MCP server you want, you'll need to connect it to your Postgres account. Here, you'll enter the necessary database details based on how you've hosted it. If you have multiple tables, you'll need to specify them one at a time. So if you want access to multiple tables, you'll have to repeat the process for each. If you ever decide not to use it, you can simply click delete and the action will be removed. Now, another cool tool they offer is WebParse by Zapier. When adding a new action, simply search for it and it will be available to you. Once you open it, you'll see that this action parses a given web page based on the provided URL. Here you have 2 options. You can either let AI guess a value for this field or set a specific value manually. We're going to leave it on AI guess a value, and the reason for that is we don't want to hard code it. This way, whenever we provide a URL to be parsed, the agent will dynamically insert it into this parameter instead of being locked to a pre-selected link. Once that's set up, just click Done, make sure the action is enabled, And if you go back into Cursor, you'll see that under Add Actions, the WebParse tool by Zapier is now available. I also tested it out. For example, I asked it to parse the cursor page, and as you can see here, it successfully called the tool. It parsed the page and provided a short summary. It even analyzed the code, including CSS classes, to determine the page's styling. When I asked about the sections of the page, it returned a pretty comprehensive list, even identifying logo names included on the page. It also listed sections like the feature section and other content present on the page. It's also much better to authenticate through Zapier rather than using other services like Composio or random MCP servers where you have to manually grant authentication access for them to function properly. Now here's a demo from Brian Helming, the co-founder and CTO of Zapier. He's going to show us how the integration is used with Slack and Jira.
To set up, but you can go in and add as many as you like. This allows you to set up all kinds of different settings. So if I click in and I look like, okay, I can choose which action I want, I can choose which account, I can choose which channel, or I could even have the AI guess that channel, and then you could go in and start to configure even more of these. I have a lot of these with just defaults, but you can go in and customize this however you like. Again, letting you kind of restrict what the agent or the assistant can actually do. Now, it doesn't just stop at the examples I have here with Slack and Jira. We have lots of different apps, but everything from GitHub to GitLab, Slack, MS Teams, Jira, Trello, you get the idea. There's a lot. So let's see a quick little demo here. We're going to post a little message into our testing MCP channel, but we're going to do it from Cursor here. We're going to say hello to the testing Slack channel. And I'm using GPT-4o today because I noticed that Sonnet, my favorite to use, is actually having some issues. But you can see that we've got all of the options defined in here. We're going to go ahead and run the tools. Now it's going to provide some of the information into testing, but we're not actually going to use that. We're actually going to use our settings. So no matter what it tries to send through, we get control over where it actually goes. Great. So let's hop back over here and let's say, actually we noticed a little bug, right? Down here in this little example is like we have a thinking flag where we want to shut that off if the model is another type of thinking model, not just O3 or O1. So let's say let's add a Jira task to swap perform thinking false if R1 is chosen. All right, let's go ahead and send that away. All right, as it comes through, we're going to take a quick look. Looks pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and send that along. Again, if it sends us extra parameters, it doesn't matter because we're filtering all that out on the other end. A very classic hallmark of what goes on inside of an LLM. If we refresh a few times, and there it is. It updated. So with that, it kind of gives you a good idea of the sorts of things you can do using MCP. Again, we have lots and lots of different apps supported. I encourage you to go check it out and give it a shot.
That's a wrap on this one. Go check out the Zapier MCP server for yourself and see how it can streamline your workflow. Plus, why not take this as a chance to boost your productivity? If you found this useful, consider dropping a super thanks. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated. Catch you in the next one.